Hey guys, this is Jess with Sourceful Journey, back with another video. So I'm in here working on a mini project at the moment. So here's the reason why you see I have one cord here. And actually I'm working off my laptop at the moment. And all while I still have another earbud in my other ear, so I'm doing a little multitasking, but for good reason. So I wanted to really focus on a quote that I came across when watching a particular YouTuber online that really resonated with me, and I want to share my thoughts on it. So yeah, without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and just jump right in. Why do I keep seeing crows so much? That's so crazy. Now it's one up there by the window. So weird. Anyhow, so the quote actually came from Divinely Guided Chosen Star Seed. So shout out to him. I've been watching quite a few of your videos. You're really good in terms of the material, the information you do pull. A lot of it does resonate, that's for sure. So definitely shout out to you. There was a quote that he actually made that really stood out to me. He said, sometimes you gotta touch the stove just to see if it's hot. And when I initially, it is so crazy. Hold on, you guys. Darn it, all the foot traffic that came in just now just made the bird fly away. I was trying to get a good screen capture of it because it was really close to the window. And I wanted you guys to see what I was talking about. But anyhow, you know, eventually if it come back around, then it will, but it's just like all the foot traffic made it fly away. So, but yeah, what I was just gonna say, the statement about sometimes you gotta touch the stove just to see if it's hot. I definitely felt that that statement was something that definitely resonated with me. Part of the reason, because when you think about it, it's kind of like, in other words, it's just saying that in order to know if something could actually work out, you have to be able to take that next step. You have to be able to take the leap to see what can happen, what can come from it. And I really do feel that that is something that rings true, because how else are you gonna know unless you don't try? I mean, when you think about it, when taking the initial step and, you know, pursuing a particular path, whether it's a career path or pursuing a particular program, whether it's something with, you know, your education as an example, when it comes to applying for like let's say that new car, or let's say you're applying for a place to stay, or, you know, whatever the case may be. I'm just thinking about all the possible examples. But the point that I'm just trying to drive home with you guys is that you won't know what can come from it unless you try. This, in a lot of ways, too, can tie into the video I did recently about the final countdown, and how I felt that there was a deeper message to it than just, you know, pals going to outer space, you know, and not looking to return. There's a lot more to it when you can think about how it could be applicable to your own scenario. The final countdown in the sense of, you know, saying goodbye to particular, you know, friends, family members, co-workers, things of that nature. Maybe the final countdown in terms of a location that you're working in, or in reference to a location that you're staying in. So it could be applied in so many different ways. So with even all that being said, the point that I'm driving home here is that with the statement that this gentleman had mentioned about being able to just simply touch the stove to see if it's hot, you have to be able to take that chance to see what can come from all of this. It's all said and done. And that's my take on it. And it's so funny because when I was listening to that video that he made that statement on, I remember I was in my unit and I was thinking to myself, I made some response like, woo, because it's just like, it's one of those things when you hear something and you're like, wait a minute, like what? Like you have to say, you know, say to yourself, like maybe you need to run it back. Like maybe I need to run that one back to make sure I heard what I heard in terms of what he stated there. And it's kind of like, also like if you listen to some of the rappers that really drop some knowledge in terms of their lyrics, not this new stuff, but a lot of the old school rappers, you know, sometimes you hear some of the lines that they spit and you're like, did he say that? Did she say that? And you know, sometimes it just catches you off guard, excuse me. I have a spiritual burp there. It catches you off guard and you're just like, did that person just say that? It just kind of hits you. And the same can be said even with regards to poetry. It's one of those things that sometimes you might read a few lines and it hits your core and you have to go play it back or read it back again just to make sure you understood what was being conveyed there. I just think it's so funny when those type of scenarios happen. And so, yeah, I had to say that with that line there, when he made that statement in the video, I'm like, this is when I had to play back. I couldn't believe it, but at the same time, once I heard it, and I guess you could say once I picked up what he was putting down when he made that statement, it resonated for sure. You know, not to digress, but a lot can be said about a lot of I call it the old school sayings. You know, I'm one of those people, in case you guys haven't figured it out yet, a lot of my videos, even a lot of the titles that are tied to my videos is very much like more so along the lines of old school sayings. Like the notion of how a hit dog will always holler, or the one about you can't lead a horse to water, or you can lead a horse to water but you can't make them drink it, or something along those lines. I keep forgetting the way I phrase it, but pay close attention. If you look at some of the titles on some of my videos, you'll see if I was that same analogy as well. So what are you guys' thoughts about that when it comes down to the notion of, you know, sometimes you got to touch the stove to see if it's hot? In what way do you think that applies to your life, whether it's with work, with home, things of that nature, excuse me? It'd be interesting to hear what you guys think about that. So don't hesitate to leave your comments in the comment section below if you haven't done so already. You can also still continue to message me on the other platforms. I love that you guys do that. Definitely keep it going. As always, consultations are still open. So actually today, because I do have to go to work, I do have 2 spots that are still available for the time being till it's time for me to go ahead and get prepared for that. And then I think Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday is pretty open. Thursday is starting to close up. Friday and Saturday is completely booked. I can tell you that for sure. I already checked it this morning. But other than that, just definitely, if it is something that is of interest to you, just go ahead and message me on the other platforms. Or you can just send me a quick email with your information, and then we can go ahead and schedule from there. So with that being said, I'm definitely sending you guys with love and light, and I'll see you in the next video. Be blessed, you guys.